Right, so our guest is Alicia Garcia Pedro. All right, she's a
Yes.
wife, a mother of three, and she's a lifestyle and leadership coach. She's passionate about teaching others about leadership, personal development, and self-care for success. She's certified as a precision nutrition certified coach. She's an ISA certified personal trainer. She's an also an ISA certified strength training coach. Those are just a few of the certifications that she holds. So I'm welcoming Alicia to this health and fitness segment, and we are going to be talking about a balancing act. And it's all about mastering a healthy lifestyle in a hectic world. So welcome, Alicia.
Thank you. Thanks so much to be here, Keon, and to everyone able to join us.
Thanks for joining, everyone. And don't forget, feel free to post your questions because it's not only about us, it's also about you all and helping you all to move to the next level. All right, so Alicia, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started on this journey.
Fitness. Okay. This has been going on for, let's see, like real fitness as a coach, as a trainer for three and a half years. But before that, I'll admit, let's go back. Fitness was never a priority for my life. Fitness, nutrition. I was just so busy being a mom. And in the process, that became the last thing to think about. I just didn't have the time. My kids, they're a bit older now, but especially when I had my daughter, who's 12 now, when she was a baby, I started running. A friend invited me to really go walking around the savannah, and then it went into running. And then it became a thing. Not that I'm any great runner, right? But it became a really a form of self-care and fitness because I was never athletic, right? School, not me. I could hardly throw a ball properly. But I soon realized that it mattered for my mental well-being, just a simple running. And then just in 2018 is when I really, for the first time, I joined a coaching group, right? So because before I was doing it on my own, right? I would Google everything, I would YouTube everything, and I felt like I could do this on my own. But it wasn't until I joined a coaching group and we had fitness sessions at the Savannah that I realized the value of just being accountable with the support of others to motivate you. And then I got hooked. Fitness became, because the benefits were so much, right? Because it started to help me overall, I stuck with it. 2020 was also a milestone year where I started to coach others, fitness as well. But then I started to learn more. I love learning. So I wanted to focus not just on fitness, but on nutrition and well-being. And during that year, one of my coping mechanisms was getting further into health and fitness and helping others and showing them that no matter how busy life gets or no matter what your lifestyle looks like, you're a busy mom, you have a career, that in the middle of all of that, you could take care of self, you could take care of your well-being mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And and in teaching others, I grew more, and it became my passion outside of my full-time career and outside of everything that I do. Fitness is and well-being and nutrition is the easiest thing for me now. Yeah, so that's just a little how I got here.
You mentioned a key thing, something that stood out when you talking a little bit about yourself is that you joined a group. So joining that group would have given you that motivation, that encouragement, and even inspiration to keep going. Before you joined the group, you basically were trying to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And you joined a group, you stuck with it, it helped you to achieve consistency, and then eventually you're now doing it on your
Yeah.
own as well as coaching others.
Yes. When on your own, I realized the difference was I didn't push myself enough. Like what I thought I could do, I didn't push myself. I would stop at 5 reps. I would run. I started doing some little weight training, but I didn't know my true potential till I got into a group and somebody was there motivating and saying, yes, you could do this, Celestia, keep going. And that's how I discovered my strengths and how much more I could do, besides running. And so that's the benefit of the group, the energy that comes with seeing others on the same journey, the support that comes with it, and the accountability. Yeah, it really mattered.
Yeah, the accountability is really key, and that's a missing component for a lot of people. But once you have that accountability, eventually you will develop that internal accountability to keep doing it on
Yes,
your own.
the habits that you build as part of being in a group, when you don't always end up being alone, but those habits continue, they sustain you. So
Correct.
when you build those good habits, it's hard to go back to the bad habits, right? When you build those
Correct.
good habits with help.
And habits are key. What are some things, you may have touched on it. What are some things that people could do because we live in a world of busyness? And I know you could attest to this as you speak to people and they say, Alicia, I need to um, lose some weight. I need to start exercising, but I have no time. And it seems to be a common story for most people. What would you suggest or you would help, or what advice would you give to someone who falls into this trap of being busy and not having time to exercise or adapt a healthy lifestyle? Was one thing or one, two things you would tell them?
A few things, but you have to make it a priority. And I know that's cliche, right? You want to focus on your health and well-being. You have to make it a priority. But why I say make it a priority, because you won't find time if it's not on your top 5 things to do, or for your lifestyle, or maybe top 5 things you decided to do at the start of the year. If your health and well-being wasn't top there, alongside maybe career or family or finances, you're never going to prioritize it, and then you're not going to find time to do things, whether it's weekly, monthly, to achieve those goals. So it's important that you decide, where does my health and well-being or my fitness fall into my entire lifestyle? Am I taking care of everything else except my physical and physical well-being? Am I so invested in family and my kids? Am I so invested in career? Am I so invested in whatever goal you're working towards that you neglect your overall well-being? So one of the things that I always say is that you got to put your health and well-being in that top 5. It has to be one of the things you decide that's important to you. And then it doesn't end there. Once you decide that it's important to you, the next step is you have to understand why, right? Because everybody says, okay, this year, 2023, I'm going to take care of my health and well-being. And it's a very general statement and even not very specific, but sometimes we haven't figured out why. Like, what is that reason? What is going to keep you motivated or make you commit to this every single day? So you got to ask yourself, dig deep and figure out what it is, what's your reason why. So I can give you an example. Some persons might say, okay, you know what? I got to lose weight. My doctor says I'm on the obese side. And if I don't take care of it based on where I am at, where my age is, I could be diabetic or I'm pre-diabetic. So that's a strong health reason why you want to kind of clean up your eating. You want to start working out. That's a motivator. Some person might say, well, okay, it's important to me to lose 20 pounds this year. because I have a wedding at the end of the year and I want to fit into this dress that I have my eye on. That's a strong enough reason. It may not be what somebody else has, but it's a strong reason. Somebody might say, okay, I want to live to see my grandkids. I'm at that age where my kids are growing up and I want to take care of my health and well-being because I've neglected it for so long. And I want to take care of myself now so that I could either, walk my daughter down the aisle or see my grandkids, take care of my grandkids. So you got to find a reason why. One of the key reasons why I have health and well-being at the top of my list is because my mom passed at the age of 50 from breast cancer. So for a long time, health and well-being became part of, after I got past the fear of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I said, no, I'm going to have to take care of myself. And here's how it's going to go. Here's how it's going to be. Here's what I'm going to start doing. And and again, that was my strong reason. So it became easy for me to prioritize that every year at the top of my list. But then after that, right, you know how all things go. You set a goal, you understand why it's important. The next step is you got to figure out how you're going to achieve it. You got to start planning, be specific about what is that one thing you want to achieve. I always say, break down that big task into small milestones, right? You may not be able to achieve all of it at once, but what's the goal you're going to get? What that goal you want to hit, let's say mid-year. Overall health and well-being, reduce your blood sugar levels, eat more healthy. A lot of things that could be a big goal. But what are you doing? What do you want to achieve by mid-year? Could it be maybe I want to join the gym? Maybe that might be the milestone, right? Or maybe the milestone is maybe my nutrition is hard. My lifestyle is difficult for me. Maybe I need to sign up for some prep meals. Maybe I need to take the buy the bullet and order nutritional pre-prepped meals. So that's one thing. But again, you gotta hit those milestones that will ultimately get you there. Then there's just the everyday thing. Every week, every day, you gotta figure out what are you doing every day, every week towards that goal. Because we could put that goal at the start of the year, we put it on a pedestal, we understand why, and then we park it. And then I say, okay, what have I done? 2 months have gone. What have I done towards this goal that I felt so important? So what you have to do is you got to keep it in front of you, and you have to keep it in front of you constantly, and you have to make sure that you're taking steps along the way. Intentional steps to achieve the goal. It could seem overwhelming, but what I always tell persons, what I always advise my clients is start small. Even if it's this week, start small. What are the 5 things you know you're not doing? 5 things you know you want to do. 5 habits that you want to build. 5 habits that you want to stop. Because more than often, we all know what we're doing wrong, right? We know how we're derailing our health and being. More than often, we do. So I always say, start small. Figure out what are the 5 things you're going to stop doing, 5 things you're going to start doing. And next week, say, okay, this is the one thing I'm going to start with. This is the one habit that I'm going to start with next week. And then maybe 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, you could start building. You could add a number 2, then you add a number 3. It could be 1 week, could be drinking water. You're not meeting your requirements for water daily. Maybe the first one thing, the small task that you're going to do is drink more water. By the time you build that habit and you get better at it, then you can build another habit. Maybe it's have breakfast on time, So don't overwhelm yourself with saying, I'm going to start from August 1st. I'm going to clean up my diet and I'm going to clean up my diet, drink water. I'm going to go to the gym. It could seem overwhelming, but figure out, start small, make a decision on what you're going to do, and then make it. Sorry about that. And then decide what's the one thing you're going to start. So that's what I usually say, you know. Understand what the priority is. Make sure you know why. Set some milestones and start with small steps and then build on it. Yeah.
And you hit the nail right on its head with priority. If something isn't a priority, you won't make time for it. We make time for the things that we need to do. And you know, once you know why you want to do it, then the how and the details could come afterwards. In terms of the goals, you also mentioned having process goals. So, for example, if someone wants to lose maybe 20 pounds in the next 4 months, then a simple process goal would be I need to walk 3 days a week, or I need to work out 3 days a week. So you look at a big goal and then you set, you know, those small little goals that are so reachable, because losing 20 pounds might seem like a stretch for most people. But yes, you have the goal, but then you focus on the actions, the things you need to do, because those are so achievable. This week is almost up, and if you set a goal to work out 3 days this week and you worked out 2 days, then you have one more day to accomplish that goal. Right?
Yeah.
So that those points really hit the nail on the head. In terms of, let's say, someone they're not really motivated to do anything, because it's a common thing that most people say, I'm not motivated. I don't feel like working out. How do you usually address that with your clients or with anyone you come into contact with? I'm not motivated to work out.
Yeah. I would say that's me too. That's me too, girl. Most of my clients are girl. Like, I don't feel to work out every day. I don't feel that but I don't wait on the feeling. It's a habit. You got to remind yourself why. And one of the things I always say is that when you get good at building a habit, like if you don't do it, you miss it. So when you have a habit, you don't feel like it's not a feeling anymore. You're just executing, right? So it's like
Correct.
brushing your teeth. You know you have to get it done and you do it. It's such a part of your day. But key to building that habit is not giving up. I know some people, like you said, you know, maybe you had a good week. You're supposed to exercise 3 days a week. 2 weeks in, you're going really good. You get to the third week and things happen. It didn't go as planned, and you felt like you failed, and then you don't pick back up. The fourth week is like, you know. So one of the things I always say is just to build that habit, you got to keep going at it. You might have a few fails, you might have some bad weeks, but every day or every week you start back and say, okay, here I go again. Because it's that repeated behavior is what's going to help you build that habit, so that, you know, you don't have to rely on the feeling anymore. And because you prioritized it, you made time for it, right? So it's, if you have an allotted time to do a specific activity, then it's less likely for you to skip on it, because it's a habit, it's scheduled, and you know that this is, well, you know why you're doing it. It's towards meeting that milestone or that bigger goal. I always say one of the things that really helps in reality when we're building those habits that allow us to get things done for our health and well-being, we have to clean up we have to create routines that help us to practice the good habits and clear up some of the bad habits. Because to make room for good habits, you have to clear out some of the bad habits, right? So a good example is, let's say, you know, you want to work out, and maybe the best time you feel or you realize that you could work out is in the morning. You know what? So you said, you know what? I'm going to get up every morning and I'm going to spend 15 to 30 minutes doing a little workout, whether it's walking, going on a treadmill, doing a YouTube workout video, whatever that looks like. You said, okay, I'm going to work out 3 days a week every morning. right? So that's a habit you want to build because it's contributing towards either losing weight or building strength or just improving your cardiovascular health. So many reasons, right? But you have to figure out what your routines like to support that, right? Are you having, if, let's say for instance, you're going to bed at 12 or you're staying up watching Netflix till 1. Your bedtime routine is a mess. So it's obviously going to affect the habit that you're trying to build. You're not going to feel to wake up, to get up in the morning and to do that workout because one, you're really tired. It's not even well-being or feeling about it. You're physically tired. So it's difficult. So I always advise persons to look at your routines. Look at what's going on. Maybe you're saying, I'm going to have a healthy breakfast every morning. But again, you stay up late, you wake up late. There's no time to go to get into the kitchen and prep a proper breakfast. You're heading out. You don't have time to pack a proper breakfast. You head out and you get some donuts and coffee, or you get doubles, or you get like not healthy, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing that repeatedly. So you got to look at the routines that you have to build to allow you to pick up those healthy habits that you want. I advise persons to monitor yourself, track yourself, say, okay, and next week I'm going to start with this new habit, but start from the morning and like log your day. Okay, I get up at 5, I scroll on my phone, I spend half hour on my phone scrolling, so that means, okay, workout time missed. Then I only had time to grab, like actually document your day, look back at it and see where you might have to change things, where you might have to drop some bad habits, pick up new habits, and keep doing that for about a week. And you'll see with time what you might need to fix to kind of help you do those daily things that you have to do for your well-being. Just do them a little better.
Correct. And what usually happens is we as people, we take the path of least resistance. So whatever is easiest to do, we do. So for example, you mentioned going to bed late because we're binging on Netflix, we're entertaining ourselves, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to just sit down and consume the movie or the series, whatever you want to consume. So now, in terms of changing or developing good habits, once we're able to do these things, then habits become automatic. It's kind of like on autopilot. You do the things you need to do, even though you don't feel like doing it. So
You got it.
habits are key. And that's what a lot of people they fail to realize when they see people who are in great shape or they see people who they go to the gym often, they eat healthy, we're labeled as fitness fanatics. And for them, they can't really grasp it, but it's simply because we develop the habits.
That's it. Correct.
Correct.
It's not a feeling anymore. It's just you build those habits and you remind yourself why it's important to you. It's harder to break a good habit. It's hard to break a good habit when you have a good habit, you know. It's hard to deviate. Just how bad habits stick when you've gotten a good habit, like it's hard to deviate. So definitely it's less about motivation, it's more about this is what I gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because yeah.
And there are common fitness myths as well when they look at people who live a certain lifestyle as it relates to health and fitness. So they tell themselves, I have to eat perfect, or I can't really miss a workout or too many workouts. What would you tell someone who comes to you like, I can't, I have to eat perfect, or
Hmm.
I can't miss a workout? What would you tell them?
That's so overrated. I say, you know, I always say moderation is key. Like I enjoy every single thing. I had last week I had a zinger sandwich, KFC zinger sandwich. So, but it's about making sure that your nutrition it's the balance is you're having more healthy and more less processed foods, and you're feeding your body properly, more than less, right? So an occasional Friday night pizza, nothing's wrong with that. You're not guilty about that. And also, what I also have to remind people, everybody has different goals. So if you want to be extremely lean, you're going in for a competition, a bodybuilding competition, then that's a different goal. And the discipline around that and what you have to do, that's very different. So don't look at what other folks are doing, because their goals are different. If you want to sustain, if you want to have a healthy lifestyle and you want to have habits that are sustainable, right, today, tomorrow, next week, for a healthy lifestyle, then it's not about diet or fasting for too long. It's really about moderation, learning how to have balance, learning how to cut back on processed foods, cut back on your sugar, drink your water, portion control on your plate. Make sure you have your veggies every day have veggies. And with time, that's what's sustainable. That's what you can do. You can teach your kids, you can teach your entire family, and you can still reach your goals with that, your goals for a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, so that myth about I've got to be on a diet, I can't eat bread, I can't eat pizza, oh, I can't have cake, that's it's more about balance, healthy practices, and making sure that you understand what you need to do to achieve your individual goal, not anybody's own. Yeah. So that's one big myth that
Correct.
I
We
could.
gotta run our own race.
Yeah, correct.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't see any questions. I don't know if I may have missed it. Um,
Happy
so if anyone has
Carrie
any question,
scrolling.
you could just drop it. You could just drop a comment and we'll try to address the question. But we're wrapping up here. I
I
know,
have
Alicia,
I have one other myth I want to bust.
okay, go
That
ahead.
thing about you need to work out every single day for 2 hours, 3 hours. That's also a myth, right? Again, different goals. But for a healthy lifestyle, for overall well-being, um, you don't have you don't have to go overboard. I always say it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. So if all you could do is 10 minutes every day, then you do that. If you could do 3 days a week or 30 minutes, get your heart rate up, get moving, move your joints. That's going to pay off significantly. The consistency at just being moving, getting your heart rate up, building mobility goes a long way for your lifestyle and your well-being than having to go. You have to be in the gym. You have to be spending 2 hours working out every day. So I just want to say sometimes let's not get carried away. Some people love to work out. That's their preference to be in the gym for 2 hours. That's their preference, and it depends on their goal. But for sustained well-being and physical fitness, you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to do, you know, hours of workout and every day in the week.
Correct, correct. Um, so there's also another common thing that most people struggle with. In fact, I spoke to someone about this week. They reached a plateau, and plateau meaning they were not seeing the results anymore. They were just stuck at this one particular weight. Initially, they were able to lose the weight, but then they reached this plateau. What would you um, advise someone? Everyone is different, everyone has different schedules. What was a common principle, or would you tell someone who has reached a plateau and they're unable to break it?
Um, what changed? What are you doing? What you say you're doing? That's the first thing I want to understand. What has changed? Was it your diet? Is it your workouts? Is it maybe something stressful is happening? So it's important to understand first, has anything changed? And maybe let's monitor. Let's see what a week looks like. Maybe you think you reach a plateau, but it's because something shifted. So it's important to figure that out first. But if it is you're doing absolutely everything, then it's time to switch something up. Time something to maybe you could. I always say sometimes you switch up the workouts, do something differently. You try something. If you're working indoors all the time, try outdoors. What about your meal planning and what you're eating? What do you need to change? Nothing like a coaching group or even an accountability partner helps you to get past, right? Because sometimes I think it's mental because you see the scale not moving and you think you're at a plateau. To me, that's when you have to push through. That's when you have to really don't stop. Like RJ is saying, consistency. Consistency is so important. Even though you don't look like you're getting the results, now is not the time to stop because you're going to take yourself back a few pieces. So it's important to figure out what changed. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Get the help of a coach or somebody who could guide you on what little shifts you need to make. And more than often, that help you need to keep going could come in the form of an accountability partner.
See, we have a question.
Charmaine?
Which fruits are best for people afflicted by arthritis?
You want to avoid the acidic fruits. Yeah, but it's not like you could write off. Like there's some fruits if you're diabetic you can't have, right? But we have so many fruits. So you avoid the acidic fruits, the ones that, get your body's acidic levels too high, which affect your joints. I don't have a fixed list on what they are, but you have to, like I say, eat the rainbow. There's so many options. It may not be a favorite, but don't be afraid to try new options. If your doctor said, okay, cherries is not right, cross cherries off the list, cross grapefruit off the list, cross oranges off the list. We have an extensive amount of fruits that you could tap into. And because fruits gives you your nutritional value, your fiber, you need to have your 5 to 6 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. But it might just come in an alternative form. Yeah. So
correct.
I could take a little note of that, Charmaine. And we could reach back out and just let you know what exactly you can avoid and what you could stick to. Good.
You're welcome. All right. So we're wrapping up here. Alicia, where can people find you? What some of your programs that you have or program that you have? So if someone wants to work with you, whether it's program, whether it's coaching, tell us a little bit about the programs and how they can reach you.
Right. So first, I want to invite everyone to Superwoman Sundays. That's a fitness group, fit camp that I have. It's virtual. So if you're up to it, 7 a.m. every Sunday morning, AST time, I do what's called a HIIT workout, but it's low impact. So we don't really get on the ground and do burpees, but you get a really good workout. We usually drench with sweat, and it's just a community that we encourage each other to do workouts. Sometimes you think, I can't go to the gym, I don't have time. And that was born of just simply a form of self-care on a Sunday. Sometimes Sunday used to get me so stressed out because Sunday is before Monday and everything has to get ready. But when I started taking time out to work out, like after that morning workout, I could face anything for the week ahead. So that is Superwoman Sundays. You could message me if you're interested in joining. It's a free camp. It's a free workout fitness virtual session. All you're committed to is really showing up at 7 a.m. and getting onto Zoom and working out with us. From time to time, I do a transformation challenge where we do more than just meal planning and workouts. It's really just like what I said, understanding what your priorities are and building habits daily, encouraging each other on how to monitor what you're eating, how to track your sleep, how are you moving today, making sure we're incorporating that daily. and it's a group. So the women inspire other women. You're not having a good day, but you see Althea come in and she did 10,000 steps, and then she showed you her plate. She had healthy eating. It inspires you. So you're learning together in these sessions, and you have accountability. You have a group of persons on the same journey with you that keep you accountable. So once I have those sessions, once I do those challenges, which usually last between 3 weeks to 4 weeks, I post it on my page and I will promote it. And I try to keep it under 30 persons, just to make sure that we're communicating, nobody gets lost in the whole thing. Yeah, so that's one.
Okay.
And I always say DM me anytime. I put my lifestyle on Instagram, what I eat, what I drink, the workouts I do. I always try to say, okay, just 10 minutes. So I have 10-minute hit sessions that you could look at that I do. But if you have a question on nutrition, fitness, workout, anything like that, feel free to just DM me. I'm always prepared to give advice and help persons who feel like they're stuck and they don't know how to get started on their fitness and nutrition.
Great. And I see you have some of the women in the Superwoman
Yeah.
Sundays.
Thanks,
All right. So we're wrapped up all here, but before we go, I usually ask this question: what is one thing you would like to leave with everyone before we go?
Don't quit. Right? Don't stop. Don't stop. To me, that's what keeps persons back the most. Sometimes we understand the priority, we set a goal, we're working towards it, and then we fall back, something happens, we have a bad week, bad month even, and then we feel stuck. And I'll say, just, you know what, we have a chance to start over tomorrow. I didn't drink water a whole week, but guess what? Tomorrow I could start again and get back on that train. So I always say, don't quit. That my idea of consistency is not quitting, just going again. Whatever that goal you're working towards, if it's workouts, if it's healthy nutrition, if it's your spiritual well-being, whatever component that you're working on that's important, don't stop when things get tough.
Thanks. And with that, we are all done. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Alicia for being on here and sharing your wealth of knowledge. So everyone have a good week.
We got to do this again. Thanks
Yes.
for everyone able to join, and I hope it was valuable. DM me if there's anything you want me to explain further. But it was my pleasure to be here.
Yes, it was our pleasure. So everyone have a good evening.
Thank you. Thanks so much.